Hi everyone, we're going to go over the New Albany High School Orchestra course syllabus today. At the top of the first page, you'll see the title, my name is Miss Thomas, you have my contact info and our room number. So that's all of your information you need there. And then the first page just has a quick little description of what our class is all about, the conduct that's expected, and any possible consequences for that behavior. So I specifically want to point out on here that we want to make sure that food and drink and gum are not used in the classroom without permission. And the same thing with cell phones, iPads, Chromebooks should not be used without permission. So that's our first page. On the second page here, our equipment that is required, you will need an instrument, a folder with music, which will be provided, a pencil, which I would recommend just keeping in your folder. Rosin and shoulder rests are available for purchase. We will not be sharing those in class this year, so make sure you're talking to me if you don't have your own rosin or a shoulder rest so that we can make sure you're all set. And then uniform performance attire, our uniforms that we perform in, we will not be requiring those this year, and I will tell you more about that a little later in this video. So with our new hybrid model, I have an example up here to give you guys an idea of what it's going to look like. I am asking you guys to be patient with me and know that this might not stick, but this is kind of what we're originally planning here, okay? So if you are 100% virtual, if you are a 100% virtual student, you are mostly going to follow along with what cohort B is doing for the most part, and then I'll come back and explain a little bit more in a second. So let's start with cohort A, your last name A through K. On Mondays and Wednesdays, you will have live rehearsals. On Tuesday, you're going to do an online interactive practice assignment. What I mean with that is that I'll have a video that has very specific items that you should be practicing along with, and very specific spots in your warm-ups and rehearsal music. Okay, and then on Thursday, you're going to be practicing along with a recording of what cohort B did earlier in the week. Okay, so you have your own rehearsals, and then a recorded rehearsal there. Okay, and I'll get to Fridays at the end. Cohort B, you're doing kind of the same thing as cohort A. It's just going to be on the opposite days. So you'll have your live rehearsals on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and your online practice assignment on the Monday, and a recording on the Wednesday. Virtual students, you guys will have that online practice assignment with cohort B on Mondays. And after that, you have 3 days in a row where I will be posting a recording of the rehearsals that the classes did. So you'll see rehearsal 1, rehearsal 2, rehearsal 3. I did put a note on here, if you see, that we might try to virtually get you guys into the rehearsal, but my thought is that with internet connection issues and things like that, a recording is probably going to be a little bit more reliable. And also, I will be inserting some notes and some comments to kind of help you guys along so that you can kind of get everything that you want out of that. All right, so on Fridays, we are all going to be together virtually. And the plan here, guys, is that I'm hoping we can split up and do some sectionals, that type thing, and split you into small groups and play for each other over the internet. When I say playing checks, that would be a one-on-one with me of maybe just checking in with you, have you play something for me, see how you're doing on your instrument, that type thing. So we might also do some fun videos and stuff like that, or theory kind of things on Fridays. But you will need your instrument at home every day. So that's something really important, is that you're going to need to take your instrument home every day for your work that's at home. Okay. So that's sort of the plan for what our schedule is going to look like. Again, this is my plan. It might not work out. We're going to see how it goes, but this is what you can expect, at least for the first couple weeks of school. Okay. Now, classroom procedures. If you are in person, then the expectation is to come in the room, get everything ready during passing period. During the first 5 minutes, you're going to warm up and be tuning while I'm working with virtual students. During the main chunk of the class time, so that 35 minutes that we have in the middle of class, I will be working directly with the students who are in the classroom. And if you have a question, you would raise your hand. So make sure you're not talking, because we're going to have less time than we've had in the past. So we want to really take advantage of being able to play music while we're in the room. And then during the last 5 minutes, you'll be packing up and just kind of hand sanitizing and sanitizing your chair and stand, and then dismissed from there. If you are at home or if you are a virtual student, you will want to get your instrument unpacked and log it onto the Google Meet every day. During that during passing period in the first 5 minutes, I'll take attendance and just make sure everybody understands what they need to be working on. And then during your class time, like I said, you're either going to have a recording of the rehearsal that you'll go ahead and work through, or you will have a kind of an interactive practice log on those days. And then on Fridays, it'll be all of us will be kind of working together. So you'll need your instruments. And then in the last 5 minutes of class, I will be asking you, and I'll give you a specific time to make sure that you log back onto the Google Meet so that we can just check in and make sure all of the assignments made sense, and I can get some feedback from you guys. All right, so this section here, I'm not going to read all of it to you, but I have a few notes about COVID safety that would be great for you to kind of read through. I know a lot of people have questions. The cellos and basses, you're going to each have your own instrument, so that's important. There are going to be consequences if you are borrowing someone else's instrument, so we need to make sure everybody's using their own instrument. And then I just talked a little bit about the process that we're going to be using for tuning and some of those things. So make sure you take a look at this section on our COVID safety. Okay, the next couple of pages are going to just break down how grading is going to be done this year. So just a quick overview, the first section here, assessments are going to be 60% of your grade. So that would include technique checks. If I ask you to play just a couple measures of the piece, you just attempt it and I can give you some feedback, and it is pass-fail. If you try it, you will get your points. If you refuse, you will not get your points. So those little technique checks that we'll probably be doing like on Fridays or in class in person, all you got to do is try. Playing tests will be just like we've done them in the past. It'll be an example that we've talked through and worked on, and that is assigned 1 to 2 weeks before you have it due, and turn it in on Google Classroom. So those will be outside of class. If you have internet issues, then you want to be talking to me so we can figure out when to get it recorded for you. Written exams are very rare, guys, but if I give you a quick little quiz that just says, hey, tell me what these dynamics markings mean, that type of thing, that's going to go into this category of assessments. And then our biggie here would be performances. So our performances, we don't know what that's going to look like exactly yet this year, but that's going to all go into this category. So I have more details down here that you can read through on all of those. And just a heads up on those written exams, that also is going to include our final exam. So you don't have to stress out. Our final exam's not going to be like 10% of your grade or anything like that. It's going to be a small portion of all of your other performances. So as long as you are doing what you need to do in class and turning in your playing tests, you will be good to go on that final. The other 40% of our grade down here, performance tasks, is basically the work that you're doing every day. We're going to be using Edpuzzle a lot this year, and that's just YouTube videos with questions. And we'll go over those a lot right here at the beginning on what those look like. But any work that you're doing in class is going to go under these performance tasks. So To start, preparedness, application. You should be applying yourself in our rehearsals. So making sure you're paying attention, making sure you've got your instrument ready, you're respectful to your classmates, your fingernails are clipped, all those kinds of things will go under this category. Our practice logs, like I explained earlier, that you'll do Mondays or Tuesdays, those practice logs that are interactive, you'll have those in this category, and any kind of online activities that we do, worksheets, that type of thing, those will go in this category. So that is how your grade is split up, just 2 big categories for this year. A few extra additional items towards the end of this page. We've got room cleanliness expectation. Always leave the room better than you find it is the basic idea here, guys. Again, we're really reinforcing this year, no share policy. If you forget your instrument, you need to let me know. And guys, I get it. It happens. I forget stuff sometimes. So I'm not going to get mad at you. We'll find you something else to do, but you cannot touch anyone else's instrument or any of the school instruments that aren't yours. So just let me know if you don't have your instrument with you. Your music, again, we're not going to have stand partners, so you are not going to be able to share. So you need to bring your own music every day. You cannot just grab music from the room to use. I will have a few extra, and that is it. After that, it's going to be your responsibility to get it reprinted. So you really want to make sure you're keeping your music folder with you every day. And then this is a biggie. This is a big change. I know that a lot of you very much are interested in seating and the idea of earning your seat. We are not going to be doing seating the same way this year. And guys, I want you to think about it. Our room is not set up how we normally set it up. It has 18 chairs just spread out throughout the entire room. So instead of us trying to compete for who earns to sit in the front, we're going to split the class into sections, and it's going to be alphabetical. I am hoping that we'll be able to rotate. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that yet, but I'm hoping we'll be able to rotate you. At very least, it'll be that we rotate each quarter. But for right now, with us only having half our class and with us being so spread out, we're not going to put that extra pressure on each of us of earning a spot. There will be a split for Violin 1 and Violin 2. So I will be having you guys audition with this music on our first seating test. That'll determine if you do Violin 1 or Violin 2. At the very beginning of the year here, you have a packet that has all of the music, both for Violin 1 and for Violin 2. So then we'll get seated after that first playing test. Then the last page on here is technology and signups. Hopefully a lot of you have gotten my email over here with your Google Classroom codes. So you can go ahead and get logged on to your Google Classroom, and that's where we're going to be really submitting all of our playing tests and work. The next thing is Remind. I send out a lot of text messages just to help you remember, hey, this playing test is due, that type of thing. So you've got your signups here. If you were in orchestra last year, I tried to move you into the correct class, and I tried to move your parents. Just let me know if you're not seeing it, or you can go ahead and just re-sign up to that. And then there's also a special group that is for our booster parents. If you are new to our group, we have a booster group of parents that kind of help with fundraising and planning fun events. And we would love to have you if you're interested in that. We have not decided yet how that's going to look this year. We might do some virtual meetups or meet in person when we get a little later into the year. A couple other resources that we have. Our website here is newalbanyorchestra.weebly.com. I'm going to start adding some stuff onto that page. And then we do also have a Facebook page, which I would encourage people to join. And we'll have posts and pictures on that as well if you are interested in keeping up with us there. And then just a final thing on here is that please do not hesitate to email me at any time with questions. You are never a bother to me. I will try to get back to you within 2 business days. So I would encourage you. The email is going to be the best way to get a hold of me, and I usually can reply the fastest through that. If you send me a message in Remind or in Google Classroom, I don't always see those quite as quickly, but I will try to be making sure that we keep in touch with everything. And other than that, guys, if you are getting ready to come back to school this week, I hope everything is going well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you guys either in the classroom or online. I'm so excited to get to make some music with you, and I hope you enjoy. We've got a lot of good stuff picked out for you this year. So hope you all have a great day. Bye.